Today's tip comes from our friend 0x12. Says that you can mark a function as either only callable via delegate call or not callable with delegate call by storing address t's as an immutable variable. Since immutable variables are stored in the bytecode itself, the value won't change depending on who's doing the delegate call. There's quite a few questions to this. Let's take a look. So here we have two simple contracts. One is called contract A. It has an event named called. It has a function named echo that emits the called event every time a delegate call occurs or internal call too. We have contract B, which has an error named delegate call failed, and a function named call that takes an address to make a delegate call with add address, calling the function echo. Now, if the call fails for some reason, we're gonna have the error. The curious thing is, let's take a look on how those behave. I'm deploying contract A. Now I'm gonna call the function echo. Check with the transaction logs, I can see the events. And looking at the events, I can see that callee is the same address, which is expected, which is okay. Now let's go and call it from a delegate call from contract B. Let's place in the address for contract A and call it. Curious thing here is that when we do this call, now the address of Kali is actually the address of contract B. There's a small trick we can do to both block delegate calls and also make sure the address remains the same. So let's do it. First, we start by creating an immutable variable of address. Let's call it my address. Now we're gonna set it at constructor time. Let's say this was both these instructions. Now we can create a modifier. No delegate calls. And it simply does require saying that address this gotta be equal start in the. Now let's add this modifier to this function. So delegate calls. Let's deploy contract A again. Now let's try calling the new contract A from contract B. And as you can see, the call failed. That's because the address is now different. You can also invert the logic and only allow delegate calls, so you can say only simply revert the logic here. Let's deploy it again and see how it works. Now if we call contract, everything works. This is the tip for today.